Prince.
This is it, the scene of the party, the fire pit, cigarettes, and empty bottles, all not as such. I'm talking about what came after. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on it.
Okay.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old.
I completely remembered why I got up. It wasn't to play with you, okay? You were just out. I'll let you play again in like an hour, okay? You just take your nap, okay? Or eat that stick. Whatever you want. Up to you, pal.
The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
Ugh, I had a kid like this at camp. He had Down syndrome. He'd always walk around with his tongue out.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of.
He looks just like me.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids.
Yeah, I mean, look at what I'm wearing. You think?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
You're stupid. Okay. You're stupid.
Just a second ago, the first one was laughing. Now he's doing something with his lips and his gap tooth. It looks like he's sad because you're going, or who knows, really.
Did it just Men in Black me?
Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were going to take them. They're stupid.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh.
You think I wasn't going to already try to take that bird?
They're in
When
my
I saw that
sandcastle.
bird and when I was talking to
Behind
her,
our house.
and I was immediately like, I
Under
wonder if I can
sand.
take that bird.
You can break the castle. It's not very good. Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom? That's nice. My mom is great. She's never... Yes. They don't want to play with me. they're older and play outside.
They also have Down syndrome, I think.
They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart. They look identical. It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like,
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
yes. Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a yes! Lammy was a resolutionary.
I love this kid.
Bye!
Called the Mama Dakwa. It's not only your eardrums that register sound anymore. Your very skin has become an organ of hearing. Looking for a whisper light and low. A god who's very, very silent. Nothing escapes you. A cockroach in the other room. A candy wrapper falling on dry grass. A drunk falling from a chair in a bar 20 meters away. In fact, you haven't heard the Col du Mama Dakwa, but you have discovered that you have amazing hearing. It must be the only part of you the alcohol hasn't drowned out. Keep listening.
Hell yeah. Anything else I want in here? No. Will my ADHD have me remember what the fuck she just said to me about the gloves? No.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away.
Okay.
You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network. The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Show me what you got. I got Gulala Million, Lonesome Long Way Home, Some Kind of Superstar, Indirect Modes of Taxation, Bringing the Law, the Jamrock Shuffle, Featherweight T500.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. Calling. Still again. Someone.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Who is this? Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that? Very funny, asshole. Why don't you grow up? Oh, and Disco is dead.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling, calling, calling. Still calling. Still.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. Tethys. Hey! You're not Tethys. Screw you, and don't ever call here again. You're fucking with some serious people.
Disconnect tone.
Hey. I must have reloaded. Does that mean I didn't see this body over here?
There's some tear. An empty.
Okay.
A man lies on the boardwalk.
Talk to Everett if you want private. I went to Kim's car. I wanted to figure out where Kuno said he threw something in the river or something, or was that a lie? And then there's the cryptozoologist as well. I was looking for him. Zoologists are on the left. Okay, I'm going to try to See if can I use the new pry bar on this door? He said look for another way in, but I didn't get a highlight for any icon to get another way in. Or is there like stuff all the way down? Did I go over here? Doesn't look like it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The tent. The tent.
Yes?
What tent? Yeah, I do have to listen to those tapes too.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold.
What's
You
up?
bet this one likes to.
Good
party.
morning.
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
So should you.
You don't have to do anything.
Oh, I didn't notice
Point
that.
to the hat. It's a fucking frog hat that I have on.
Yeah, well, look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
Okay, it's Burger.
You have little reason to doubt that's her real name, but she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No.
Eh.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
An entire litany.
You heard me right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. Picking your nose to drug addict music. World of sorts of.
Man, you are one weird cop.
Thank you.
What is it with you and this Mike guy? Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
Yes, it indeed floats my boat.
Uh-huh. Good on you.
How does
The
that thing
mic?
work?
I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get it from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the
Oh
Palaceum?
man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on
Nice.
Boogie Street in Jamrock.
Nice.
Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Awesome. I love him.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds like... Okay, do I want to say this now that I'm a homosexual?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I'm hit beyond my
That's
years.
cool. Sucks, man.
Ow.
Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
My boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway,
Okay.
I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, you're called.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat. That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room. Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Go ahead. It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah. No. Not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks.
It's Noids. Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock
To keep
on the
more
church?
weirdos from getting in.
Okay.
Fucking Martinez. I'm
So you want to
sorry.
turn a church
I
into a
know.
club?
It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Okay, here we go again. No, we're the law.
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. But they're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
Go ahead. Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Fast and clean, a good one. Can't quite say it's a lie. but it
Someone's been
feels
questioned
like
by police before, huh?
one. She's better at lying than she'd like everyone to know.
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river. The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager. You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13 in
Yeah,
Forberg.
sounds like me.
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes.
Forberg, not in Forberg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
My dad was a drunk.
Yep.
Plus, I guess I
I
just
know how
wanted to
that
drink
is.
too, you know. Get my party on.
She nods very cautiously.
Okay.
Empathy. 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 I'm going to destroy this check. It's going to be the most checked check that's ever been checked. Oh, these have interfacing? Nice.
Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you. No, they didn't. But they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
What is?
I am once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums.
I can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
Yeah, there's been something making my life
What is
hell.
it?
I think it's the plight of the working class. Everyone's just reaching out the entrance. You're the guy who takes talking about Rocky. Do I talk about Rocky? I definitely have talked about Mike Tyson. If I say the ANCAP stuff, do I get money for it?
Oh, really?
Achievement.
So the thing that's been eating you is rich people not having enough money? Then you really haven't seen much of this strange world, because we literally haven't got any income taxes, just a 20% value added tax. And that's like it.
Okay.
Startled, she turns her head. No modes of indirect taxation catch her eye. She looks back at you.
You have an issue with the sea monster tax? Uh-huh. And none of this has anything to do with, oh, I don't know, some chick?
Perhaps.
Go ahead.
It was so cringe, what I said.
Yes? Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the... Either way, good on you. You were saying?
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There's room for that girl in here.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
Your pussy?
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
David Bowie looking motherfucker.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Cell Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
So Zero.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
Uh-huh.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What about it, bro?
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that. The word.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky.
What do you mean?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
Okay, David Bowie.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? All right, man.
Hell yeah.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
Oh, so you met her. Good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noy to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Not long, like a week maybe?
What? They locked people in the church?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives. I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Good point, man.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
Thank you.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it?
That's me.
That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop. You wouldn't want to be stupid cop, now,
No.
would you?
No.
But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you. He nods attentively, ready to answer the question.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The percentage is dropping?
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic.
Just like
The
RoboCop.
object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime.
Oh, how he's 80% sure they're alive. He keeps lowering it. Okay.
Ka-ching!
I
The
get
key
it.
hits
Sorry.
your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing there, with a goofy grin on your face. Feels nice. It would feel a whole lot less nice had you dropped them.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
That sounds exactly
You're
who
right,
music in
they
the church.
The Pericarnassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
Okay.
Love is hardcore.
I agree.
Unity.
Yeah.
Unity!
Yeah.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
Okay. Woo.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass. Feels good.
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look
Yeah.
out for each other and you party together.
Okay, so
That's
you're
a
pussy.
posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Yeah! Yakokata, the place to be.
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Yeah.
Do it for the masses. Do it
Yeah.
for the crew.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
As always.
This dude doesn't look bald.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman
How are
Wowshe
you
tape
egghead
player,
if you're not bald?
nodding along to the music, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous event.
Hardcore!
Yeah.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
Right.
Here comes the night!
Yeah.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
A puzzle. Okay, well, I'm gonna go let those people that you're trying to kill out.
A pain of barely holding it up. The pain falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
The puzzle is talking to him. Yeah, I figured that out, but I really want to go to the church, so. I want to see if it's full of dead people. Hell yeah.
Heavy wood. The lock turns.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, in the heart of the city.
The fuck is happening? Give it. Give me. Thank you. Bark beetles. I see a glowy thing that I want.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
Uh-huh.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer.
Uh-huh.
The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuit.
Where's all the dead people? Clown shoes. Hell yeah. Where's the people? I thought there was people in here.
Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything? I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows. Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Okay, Schmeagol. Hey, Erdogan.
The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamro. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershoal. Hold on, stop it right there. Pussy, what's with this?
Yeah.
You really got a case of frayed nerves.
Why is
Pussy.
it?
And this usage comes from pusillanimous. Everybody knows that.
Oops.
This is such bullshit.
Chill out, man. Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it. Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
If the lieutenant agrees, then maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention.
Fuck you, Crabman! You don't tell us what to do! Tell him!
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege, saving perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
Living in the church.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
True.
That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
the ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Sure did, Holmes. I am, at least in part, Holmes. Into the mother's love burns away the cruel distinctions of the body.
Did he say something pedos? I missed it.
A boyadero? No, Holmes. I don't go in for that kind of thing. It's all about surrendering to the mother now. Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First timers?
The sinewy figure lingers on the wood.
Said age is a mask. Oh, I interpreted that much differently then.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty.
Badass.
This is her innocence dolorous day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress.
Oh my god, his snooter is so
kneel.
cute right now, but it's like right behind where the fucking gates connect, so you can't even see it.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye.
He kicked
what?
the joint right
Compassion,
open.
Remorse. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You. No, she doesn't care about you. She only cares about her shiny sovereign's orb and her silk robes and getting to the aerodrome on time to leave. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown to your mind, looking at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn
The old woman, it's a minor landmark.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here. Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Well, your station was in...
How come the...
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
The mother of humanism stands above you. Oppression, a jigsaw of broken shards, falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text, a light motif below them both. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
Yeah. It's the real mural. his Biji and his snooter.
And then along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the insulindian, on human thinking, a tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Justice, union, prudence, and force. Not at all.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional.
Careful!
The Dolorian
Did you
system
hurt
does not
yourself?
demand faith, only accordance.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the length of her body, her face oval and sad. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever as it haunts all men. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world. Many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir Laclais, also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. Draped in ancient sadness, are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this? Exactly. Back out of this corner of your mind by choosing the bottommost option. To hell with this. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. Good. Now back out of this corner of your mind, as did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supremawindi, altogether 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later, a young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else, something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves, the man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. But she was not hell. She is the opposite of that, the wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand, below her once more, with your hands on your side, momentarily at a loss as what to do with yourself.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin. I have no idea what you mean by that. We've been standing here long enough. We should look around, or get out.
A machine stack. The lieutenant doesn't. You see fluorescent play and print button. The lieutenant says nothing. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good morning, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to... Maybe he knows something.
Receipt, Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love. Too many times, Essay, you need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. No. There's a new god in town, and she can't be painted or sculpted because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes.
No, he was
no
squeezing
one
through to
ever
get to the
will.
kitchen. He was halfway through, too.
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
He's so precious.
That sounds a bit like substitution
You're so
behavior,
precious.
no? You know a thing or two about that.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Uh-huh.
I ain't from no Mariette, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Mariette is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me. I think they were. A long time ago. I
You
had
done?
to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Something like that.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother... I think we're done here, essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds,
Good morning, fortress accident on Saint-Brun. This is good. Please repeat. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, that's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Goodbye, Fortress accident.
Good?
the machine's keyboard is still. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Hey, you're not getting up there. That's why it's open as wide as it is, because you get up there. Stop trying. You're going to fall and hurt yourself.
The first entry made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author. is short and
Come on,
concise.
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You make smart decisions. Come on, make smart decisions.
Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simor for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the...
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
What happens if I don't touch that machine? How does this change?
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines.
You good? Oh, I'm sure it doesn't matter much. I was just curious about the alternate dialogue. I knew Zapata would instantly knock it over.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now, please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
It's made out. It's mostly gypsum and water.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Plus, they mainly eat stuff with no calories. They love to eat paper and tree bark and cardboard.
What is it? Yes. Or no, not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you. Nope. Yes. And No, you're right. I'm not. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
Okay.
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Okay.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Hey! Hey!
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect... Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out? You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to cease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
I'm sorry.
I know. No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning, her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks.
Okay, see you later. I'm gonna go solve a puzzle.
The young man with...
This is hardcore. It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this.
Back like to see heavy hardcore. Hardcore. Yeah.
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yeags and args. This produces a guttural Gotwaldian accent and makes him sound more animal, more in it. Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the exclamation mark. Yeah!
He missed one A.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth checker. I am the law. The club, true, hard, full, hardcore. Yeah!
This young man adds, or maybe it's not Gotwaldian.
The Y to the E to the, yeah!
He missed one.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. The club, true, hardcore. Yeah!
This young man, or maybe it's not Gotwaldian.
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck? Wow.
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I! So am I!
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Egghead to the mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The Advent? The cloud, true, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in
Good?
the very real
He
of
just
the
puts the
stuffy
stick out.
tout.
You good? Uh-oh, he got a wiggly butt. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker. Yeah! The club, true, hardcore, internally coherent. All core, all right, yeah.
He furrows.
Hardcore! Is it though? But is it?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle.
Under the radar, over the top. The close, true, hardcore, internally coherent. Good morning, yeah, 1, 2, 3, Yekokata, the place to be. Yekokata is a...
Yekokata, an intricate system of irrigation networks.
The club, true, hardcore, internally coherent. All core, all right, yeah, gotta get the people going. Yeah, request. I want everybody as close to the stage as possible. The club, true, hardcore, internally coherent. All
He furrows.
hardcore. The question is, what is the question? But there was no question. The club, true, hardcore, internally coherent. All core, all. Gotta get the people going. I'm the party boy. It's my job. 2 on a track. Watch your back. The club, true, hardcore, internal, all core,
He furrows his.
hardcore.
The question is, what if... But there was a question? The club true. Hard cards into all
He fucked.
ha. Is it though? One mind, one spirit. The club true. Hard into all
He fucked.
ha. Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might.
Wow! Culture cop! I think you might be right. But how could it become hardcore then? I know it in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. No! This is the what? Guys, there's something happening in his head. Oh yeah! He's doing it! I know! So does mine! Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah! All right.
The large-headed kid.
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it up! Pump it up! No nation, but trans nation! No war, but class war!
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as fault reading.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. And that's fucked up, man. Lying like that. And a cop too. He's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium. She was a communist, though.
Yeah! With the rebel yell! I can be an ultra. If you want that, do you want me to be an ultra?
Please don't turn him into an ultra-liberal.
Oh, jeez. Please don't do that. There's enough exploitation in the world.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing and scaring you.
Aye! Capital rules the nation. Eat the poor.
You swear you feel the profit margins reflecting off Jermaine Egghead's giant smile.
Lungs are for love. When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be? Are the lungs not the place?
Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on, 'cause I've never loved someone like you before. Dark Hard Hardcore! Jermaine Egghead!
Basically, yes, it is.
The large-headed you.
Good morning, Tycoon! Yeah!
No. The large-headed you.
Good morning, Tycoon! Yeah!
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every caudate animal.
What? Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future. The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Fan H's Jam. Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea. Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck. Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachon. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
Oh my god. What was that, dude? What was that? Yes, you're very cute. Don't. Stop, you're gonna fall. Don't. Oh my god.
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still,
there's more going on here than we know.
Corty could be short for Cortenar, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. The contrast feels chilly, inappropriate even. The porter reel is just what you needed. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. Alone's telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier
Don't
yard.
jump.
You almost feel the seaside
Don't
mist
do
on
it.
your skin.
Do not do it.
It's mega sad. Within seconds, you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like 1,000,000 times. Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And The B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape. The library card is folded into two. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre, some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005-02-55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call.
I know the ledger. Look at you, you're so drunk. You ain't go around.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind.
Don't
They're
jump!
covered in a
Don't
thick
you
layer
dare!
of grime. They must have
You
been
stop
like
it!
this for 40
You
years.
behave!
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
So he's trying to jump out of the enclosure and go upstairs.
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
He can, and BG doesn't jump over things anymore. He used to. I have very funny videos of him doing it, but one day he got on top of my kitchen counters because BG can jump higher than Zap, and he's more coordinated than Zap. And he got on top of my kitchen counters, and I went in there, not to like grab him or anything. I was just walking towards him, and he decided, I'm going to try to leap from this island onto the other counter. And he jumped, and he busted his face and cracked his whole nose open. And you can still feel the scar in his face. And he hurt himself really bad. And now he doesn't climb things or jump over things. He goes through them. But Zapata will try to jump the wall, and he can. I have a video of it too, him busting his face open.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext
of
what
are you
West
doing?
Mountainese?
He's in
I'm
the crack
Kang
trying to
Harustam.
eat the wall now.
You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Oh yes, so Mikhail.
You really
the
went
monitor
right
glare,
back to what I
especially in
just
the
told
summer.
you out of, huh?
They still had vector monitors back then. That was
Come here.
49 years ago. So they didn't
here.
have windows on the south wall. Yes, hypertext, Young Carp, and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
They were named after anarchists because they're the most rebellious animal.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for... I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it...
Oh, no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Nerd.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
It's like
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harli people, a name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the sticks used in other cultures...
Okay, I get it. You're talking about shillelaghs.
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references. Man, he's good at speaking. People must love him.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying? Then I guess everything got said, right? No, thanks.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
I see you. I know you're thinking about it. Hey! Here's that nerd I was looking for. Oh my god, Zapata!
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
Come here, Dinkus. Come here, Dinkus. Yeah, Ishi. You want some dust too? I'll give you some. Here. That's
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
What? What is your name, bro?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
Don't worry, Gary.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Are you also a fascist?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about? Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice water lock.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter. Why? Insane. Yes, okay, good. But you said the water lock is fixed now, so we can go back.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes!
Yes, Gary, we can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could...
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
No, Kuno isn't jacked because of his accent. He just acts like
And
him.
I suspect it may have
They're
also
identical.
developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators.
If
or
anything, it's the
scientists
crypto
in our
fascist
present
that's
case.
jacked.
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long. Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts. Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sign. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
You're not a scientist, buddy.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Yes.
More than some, he admires this about her.
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What? And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on. She wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century.
Yeah,
and it's hers.
I figured because it turned noon, it went to midday.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon... No.
He's dead set. I could go for some trap setting.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work. Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research. Attention. Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than...
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular? Is it?
If you think it's important, you have...
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least...
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital on the hunt?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids?
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does. My methods are the same as those of other scientists.
No, it's not.
I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence, and I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Yeah, that's how you get false positives.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often. Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places. No, very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid. Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection. Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids,
No,
most
you're
cryptids
not.
are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching. In fact, it is 0.05%. Ever more magnificent should our search contribute to making
The
that number
fuck does that mean? It's called
0.075%.
zero.
Yes? All right. What cryptid?
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees. They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here. You probably have. Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow dashing through the grove. I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world
You
might
literally
be more
hang out with a
interesting than
fascist.
you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
If you were your own harshest critic, you would stop doing this and go home.
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting. No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know
What is that?
I would
A
have done
peda what?
if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence. By all means. Okay.
Layman, you always have to prove yourself.
By all means.
Shut up.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. Officer.
He looks nothing like his portrait.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow Man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
What did you call it?
He pronounces Revacol with a hard K, unlike other people.
I like to pronounce it the hard way, the old way, the Vespertine way.
Okay. Vespertine.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
My mug? Why would you think that? Oh, no, that's not... Why would I be calling to a broken mug? Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you? Oh, God. 250? How am I gonna pay that? Okay, I'll work harder. I'll pay it off. I promise.
It's, in a way, admirable how quickly he composes himself after such a blow. This man digs authority, even when it's bullying him.
And I'll never do it again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What?
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law. I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez. So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob.
I mean, I don't know what I'm doing because I don't know how to play video games, but...
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please, let me explain. It's not like that.
Oh, okay.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know? Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Okay, you sure you're not a murderer?
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
You ever cut the head off your dad because you hate immigrants?
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across
Sir, your
a
butt plug
hardwood
fell
floor.
out.
You've heard this sound before, but where?
Armor? No. I mean, yes, of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
What sound?
I heard your butt plug fall out, sir.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
It has your name on it.
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
Yeah, I would say so, too.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Him hating immigrants was irrelevant. He cut off his dad's head for being a member of the... No, he was literally like, did you watch the video? He's literally in there talking about immigrants and shit. Saying like that, like all this, like, I think a lot of people like, I think holding up the severed head kind of overshadowed the hatred for immigrants. It's a 14-minute video of him just like ranting. You know about his Spotify? Have you heard his music? He has a whole Spotify channel that's just like I hate Chinese people and stuff like that. It's like weird titles and stuff. I haven't listened to it yet, but like somebody was saying that his music slaps.
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
Honestly, I think he has grounds where he's gonna get fucking insanity. Because of like he also had a song dedicated to an ex, I heard, probably. But the way he was composed, right? Like it seems like that's like normally like that's how like people who are like crazy be talking, you know, they'll just tell you that Slender Man told them to do it. Speaking about that, you know, one of the Slender Man girls wants to get out of the asylum.
Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way, but I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you've seen the guy who shot Reagan, he got out like 2 years ago.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly. No problem at all. Sure do, officer.
Yeah, I broke into it.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
How? But why were you in my apartment, officer?
I don't know, man. Zarqawi cut Mike, what's his name's head off in 1 second. I timed it. Fastest I've seen somebody take a head off, and all he had was a knife. Michael Berg. Yeah, Nick Berg. Maybe. Okay, Nick Berg was his name, not Michael. His dad is Michael. Anyway, Zarqawi cut his head off in a clean second.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
he said he sued the government because of
What
student
have
loans.
I done? He'll send the muscle after me. I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night about some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
Composure.
Always I mean,
God,
officers.
I hate this guy so much. I still hate Sidney the Skull more.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together.
He said the government
as if
should have
something
granted the
is
loans
ready
to him
rip out from
because he was a
underneath.
white man and shouldn't have expected him to get employment to pay the loans back. Okay. So he's like saying that like only that like he's against diversity hires and stuff, and he thinks white people can't get jobs because of diversity hires or something.
No, he's scrawny. Try again.
He sounds insane to me.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where
He makes vegan pies for a living.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did.
Yeah, you're walking around with a butt plug. Of course you're ashamed.
We're not detecting falsehoods, sire.
Keep it in the house,
He's
weirdo.
gearing up to admit the truth. This shame.
It's so funny that he makes vegan pies and he literally like killed a guy.
Gary, what's going on?
I'm also curious to see because I think they said they found the dad's torso in the bathtub. So I'm curious to see if what the actual means of his death was.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
Like, what if his dad just slipped in the shower and this guy cut his dad's head off post-mortem?
No, you've got explaining to do.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon, it is in your hands.
Oh, Gary makes pies, not the beheaded guy.
But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. and they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Because I was weak.
Yes,
I
you
should
are.
have told
just
you
like
the
all
moment
the
I
fascists.
saw you. But
you're all compensating for your
The
weakness.
hell, Gary? You in trouble?
Listen, you shut up.
I'll explain later.
Okay, you need to explain the butt plug.
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
No, he was talking about this guy. The guy in the game makes vegan pies for a living.
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
What is it? What does the torso do? Pain threshold. Oh, sick. I can wear it like underneath my clothes. No one will ever know. I actually want to see what it looks like, though. That's why I put it on. That's more than enough. Unless the gloves are my whole arm. Yeah, that's more than a cuirass. That's a lot.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water. You don't have a reason to. Yet nothing.
Okay. People are just scared of the truth. Okay, pal. Should I throw on some perception gear? The issue with the vegan food is that it's like all like imitation shit, but like a lot of Jamaican food will have a lot of vegan stuff because like Rastafarians, they don't believe in eating meat because they like believe in like reincarnation shit. And like there's also a lot of like Asian cuisine that is totally vegan because they don't believe in like eating meat. And like that's the way to go. Like actually using seasoning on rice and stuff instead of like whatever they do. I should probably go talk to Everett Clare about my gun, huh? Did I not open that box? Oh, there was still a trigger I didn't hit here. So stupid. Hell yeah, I'm rich. Yeah, that's what I'm going. That's why I'm going to Everett Clare now to solve the guns.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too.
Ugh.
How can I help you today? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Collection of
Just as I
racist mugs.
thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
Rainbow Coalition.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why.
Uh-huh.
Real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry. This is going to be good.
Uh-huh.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Uh-huh.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Uh-huh.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramoritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Uh-huh.
Everything they did there,
You
they
mean
brought over here.
Chiquita Banana?
They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Wow. You fat fuck.
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
Yep.
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says,
You mean Titus?
Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land.
What?
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
So they shot him?
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me
Yeah,
to hang him.
sucked
A
up.
hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policemen. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt by men who aren't social democrats.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist. What? Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day delegating tasks, and it's a great relief to see people taking initiative. I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off. I'm going to let the world surprise me. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things. By all means, Harry. No, you didn't. Just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop...
It depends.
But,
as I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're going to get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry? Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned in either the sea or the bottle. They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old... Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm all...
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it will probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
The youth center, it's going to be, this is either my money is on call. Look. You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slowly.
I have nothing that boosts rhetoric. Oh, okay. I have one shirt.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. And as it's always been,
Come on, bro.
A small cabinet on the wall, their logo.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, magnesium, and Hypnogamma. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
The tear machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk in... You take the legal documents out of the envelope. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 14
Still
month
watching me
construction
here?
period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Can't get away from his guys.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? I can wash it for you.
Hell yeah.
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Well, hand it over then. Must say, I'm proud. Eh? What's this about? Huh. I might be half blind. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board.
If I go on the hut, won't Kim leave? It's not late enough. Okay.
The library card. Billy is a unit. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to... With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. Indeed, they look, but they're not. And the document will be nullified. All you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everard's accountant in La Delta. There was a mail delivery box in the plaza, near the corner of the bookstore. The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. Do something important? Something murder-related? This is a Caprice Kanema with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Kanema is able to reach 100 km. The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Kanema effectively a mobile power plant. Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
Yes, an extraordinary machine.
Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot. It's a bit girly right now. Fit it with some proper off-road components.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
And means no. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? One moment. Can you please describe the body?
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? Any information on the library card? Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Hold on. I've got Central...
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment. I'll have to check our database. Yes, hello. Are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address. Is that all right?
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last... 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we...
Anything else you need from me? 50...
In the cabin, you see a set of...
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Okay, you use the F slur.
Which
That's
is
illegal.
not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange.
Oh God!
These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
The cool one.
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmertine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West Riversholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on...
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
What?
Be wary of the abyss.
What'd you say about fucking
Probably
kids?
because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
Whoa. Come on, man. We're just talking here. Just words. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no need to throw your authority in our faces.
That's right. Way to put them in the little boy's corner.
You want to talk? Let's talk, boys. Ask them.
He liked how you decisively shut down a situation that could have turned into a farce.
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry
That's what I was
about
gonna
that.
say.
We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are. Mm-hmm. What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss.
The fuck?
The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And I guess it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise.
Like I said before,
I'm wondering.
to catch a fish, you'll need to. You get more because.
Hate to admit, is it a
Yes? What is? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Fine.
You all.
So are we done here? Or you don't need a...
No. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. Suggest their massive skulls. Come on.
What? No. Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Prospect must be a hierarchical term. Probably in the lower end.
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
Yes.
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
Yes.
You got it. No need for cruelty.
Oh, man. Okay. I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway.
Fuck.
Nice.
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
That's gallant of you, but I'm not wearing either jacket. This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all. I just wanted them to not have them anymore.
Cold-hearted cop.
Do. I'm fine with that.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with his written on his back, it'd just be an individual that has taken a liking to urine. And fuck the world all on its own is, frankly, generic.
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
Is that the one I wanted, or do I want this one? I'll just take both.
If you say so, but you...
Mr. Dubois, every worker, the Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
See, forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. Your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt. Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast, the one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
So the village is doomed.
You were there. You saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land, Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things.
How do you know?
And
You can't even leave your container.
The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that. And then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, kids off speed, and landowners in a zone hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
You would look nice as a statue.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job.
Good.
Just like yours is to keep the peace.
A true flash of anger in him as he thinks of her.
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead. Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
That's only the Asian bees.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp rising.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. You're not an ultra-liberal, Harry. Get the fuck out of here. Don't be a retard. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Actually, no, it's not.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. It's already happening. Great, Harry. This has been so great. I'm...
Now, where do I go get my gun? That's the last thing I'm doing. I wish I could fast travel from here. That's in the evening. Okay, so it's too late to get my gun. I'm just gonna go outside the Whirling and Rags and save. Baba Booey. Oops. All right. See you later. Too early. Okay, I'll get it tomorrow or whenever I play again.